Good morning, Jim Hodges here, Spartan. Spartan's a 10-month-old Doberman puppy that was here for our residency training program. Wanted to do the video do's and don'ts today to show you how we want to handle him, what to do when he does what we want, what to do when he doesn't do what we want, how to give our commands, the hand signals, verbal, everything along the lines like that, okay? Very important that we praise our dog much more during the day than we would bite our dog. What is a bite? A bite is a correction. It's a consequence. It's a tap of the leash. Good boy. When I bite a dog because he's done something I don't like, it's typically a tap. It's a no at the same time as the tap. And then once he does what we want, we move on from there. He is a really good boy. He tends to get distracted real easy with cats. But guess what? He still has to do what we ask him to do, okay? And we work him through to that point. But we praise him as much as we can. When he's just laying down being a good boy, we praise him. When he's sitting there, we're watching television at night, and he's doing like you want, we praise him. When he's laying right here, and I'm talking, we praise him. We want him to see what makes us happy in life, okay? Very first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start with obedience with the let's go. The let's go, he should be walking right here beside me. I don't like him out in front. The reason I don't like him out in front is twofold. One, if he's out in front of me, he's leading the walk. Remember, what we're trying to do is establish you as the leader, okay? Leaders lead. Let us be here or him here, a little bit behind us. The second thing when he's out in front of us, especially when you get a dog that gets real distracted, and that's a lot of puppy in Spartan here, but gets distracted, he can tune us out when we're not part of the program. But when we're beside him and he sees the cat, the squirrel, the other dogs barking, kids running, the wind blowing like it is this morning, it's cold, wind's blowing, that tends to excite dogs a little bit more, he can lose his focus. By us being beside him, he knows the leader is present at all times. And as he obeys, we praise. So listen to my tone of voice. Watch me with my loose leash and when I tap it, okay? And I'm going to guide you as I go through this the proper way to do it. Of course, you know, we've taken almost 2 weeks of teaching him what all these things mean. He didn't just naturally understand it. He learned from us cueing him with treats, with praise, with love, with what we wanted. Then once he knew what we wanted, then we came in with the tap if it was necessary. Okay, Spartan, let's go. Hear the tone of my voice? Attaboy. Let's go. Good. So he's walking with me. I'm going to praise him, let him know he's doing good. I could jog if I wanted, and he would be right with me, okay? I step off, he's going to follow me. It's not tight, but look how loose the leash is. If for some reason he started going that way, I would tap the leash parallel to the ground in the direction I wanted him to go. So if I turned that way and he didn't come, I would tap the leash that way. If he started to go in front, I'd tap behind him, if you can see that. Notice I'm not pulling. When I pull, I do the work for him. When I tap, I make him think about what to do and do the proper thing. Notice the tap does nothing to hurt him. It does get his attention. He's used to it by attention now because we've been working with him and have worked with these many, many times, okay? Good boy. When I do tap the leash, I try to say no when I tap the leash. Why do I do that? With just about every client I talk to, they tell me no works in the beginning, but it quickly goes away. Why is that? Because all it is a word to the dog. They listen in the beginning because of the tone of voice coming from you or what have you. But before long, they learn that no means nothing. It's just another word. I want him to understand that no or means that we're going to bite him, just as one dog would bite another, as mom would correct or bite the puppies, okay? That's a consequence, that's a bite. Remember, after I bite, I always put a little bit of praise right back to him afterwards to let him know I'm happy with where he's at. So let's go. Hear that voice? Sit. That's the hand signal for sit. Attaboy. I'm going to praise him. Now, when we have a cat going crazy over here and he hears it, he's got to work anyway. If I end up having to bite him, you're going to see it and I'm going to do it. But sit means sit. He has to stay in that sit until I release him. With just about any dog, but especially big bone dogs, I will not keep them in a sit forever. Break. Minute, maybe a minute and a half at the most. I worry about their bones and their muscle development and hip dysplasia and the weaknesses that occur there. If I'm walking down the street and I meet someone, I may have him sit. Good boy. I would pet him, and I'm here talking, then I'd say, break. And now he's released. Look at where my left hand is. I still got control. I can carry a conversation on with someone in front of me. If he started to pull me, what would I do? I would just tap him, just like in the Let's Go, whatever direction I needed him to go in. If he wanted to sit like he's doing, wouldn't bother me at all. He's not in the sit command. He's in a release command. If he wanted to lay down, he could lay down. The only thing he couldn't do is pull on the leash and try to wrap around me, okay? Let's go. Good boy, sit. Good boy. If he did not SIT, I would have come right behind, tapped the leash straight up to the sky. Say, no, sit, and then praise afterwards. The DOWN from in front, down. I said down, but you saw he knew what to do with the hand signal. If he did not down, I would step up to the leash and tap it towards the ground. Down is just like sit. He has to stay there until I release him, okay? Unlike sit, I could have him in a stay for 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes. In fact, we've done that. But normally if I keep a dog in a stay more than a couple of minutes, I have an intention to keep him there for that long. I usually put the hand signal over his nose and tell him to stay. And that means pack your bags, dude, you're going to be there for a while. He can roll on the side, he can smell the ground, he doesn't have to pay attention to me, okay? Break, let's go. Good boy, sit. Good boy. I'm proud of you. So we saw DOWN from the front, watch it from the side. Down. I don't have to give the hand signal, he learns hand signals, and it teaches him to pay attention to me when we do it. Sit. Come on. Let's sit. Attaboy. Notice how I encouraged him back up into the sit command. Good boy. So, break. We have down from in front, down from the side. We have sit, we have break. Like that. Let's go. I've never really used a hand signal. It could be anything you wanted it to be, okay? The next thing we have is the PLACE command, the place command. When we tell him to place, he gets on his bed, he can lay down, sit down, stand up. I don't care what he does, as long as he stays on his bed. He can chew a bone, he can go to sleep. Quite honestly, you can get up and, once he's learned, you can get up and leave the room, he's going to be there. He'll do the place for a couple of hours easy. Let's give it a shot. I'm going to point to the bed when it's time. Let's go. Play. Attaboy. Good boy. So you notice he took off in front of me. He's already starting to understand what the bed is. Once he's learned at your home what he's got to do, you can send him to his bed, and even if it's in the other room, he'll go to it. Now he's standing up. That doesn't bother me at all. If he sits down, I'm happy. If he lays down, I'm happy. The only thing I'm going to do is I'm going to bite him, and that'll be movement. If he got off, it'd be no, place. Good boy. So why am I praising him? He's on the bed. Good boy. He just sat down. It's really cold out here. He just laid down. That doesn't bother me. That's all part of the place command. I will not tell him to sit or down while he's on place. Let's go. Come on. Good boy. Sit. Good. Next command's going to be the heel command. Break. The heel command, you notice how when I walked, I just brought the leash around me. I always like the dog to circle in from behind me to my left side. On the heel command, we imagine we have a little box here by our side. It's our job and his job in the beginning, and we're still learning, but he does real well with it, is to keep him in that box when we're walking. It's real good in close quarters where there's a lot of traffic or what have you. I'm going to keep the leash short, but I'm not going to keep it tight. It's still going to be loose. Whenever I stop, he sits automatically. If he did not stop when I sat him automatically, what do you think I would do? I would tap the leash straight up to the sky and tell him, no, sit. If we're walking and he's in heel and he starts to stray away, I'll tap him back into the box, the movement command parallel to the ground, just like with Let's Go, and tell him, no, heel. Once he's back in command, either one, I'm going to praise him for it, okay? So here we go. Heel, open palm. He's right here. I'll step off. Look how he follows me right back into the bed. Come on, now heel. So you notice how he got behind. I did not tap him up. Break. Most of the time when a dog falls behind just a little bit, I try to motivate them with my voice to get them up. If motivation doesn't work, that's when I'll do the movement tap. But most of the time it's them trying to get focused, of starting a walk, and them trying to understand what's happening. All right, one more time. Heel. Good. Now heel. Come on. Good boy. Turn around. He's got to stay with me wherever I go. And then when I stop, he's going to park his rear end. Good boy. And now, guess what? He's in the sit. See how I could step off? He has to hold that sit until break. I release him, okay? Sit. Good. The next thing I'm going to do is the COME. There are two forms of the COME. One is on the leash, one is off leash. They really are very close to the same, except one you have control, the other you don't. And I'm going to explain. No, sit. That's very good. We were in sit, he started to lay down. That's not part of the command. So when he started to lay down, I tapped the leash back up into the sit. Let me see if I can get where I can get the camera for you. Sit. Good boy. Hold on. Right there. Hey, sweetheart. She's old. Please forgive her. Let's go. Let me move on out here. Try to get resituated so I can get you to have a good visual representation of what I want. Sit. Good boy. So, on the come command, that is the one command. See how he's watching the kitty cat? I'm going to be ready to react if he doesn't do our command. Now, the next thing that's going to happen, if this happens in real life, good boy, that was very good. I was ready to bite him if he got up out of the command, but he held the sit. Come. Come in. Gotta sit. Good. That was right off of a distraction. We're going to do it again. Come. Good boy. Good boy. Break. When I do give a treat, on any command, I'm always going to give him a lot of praise, good words, good touch. Sit. Good. And the treat at the same time. No. Sit. Good. Come. Good boy. Now, I'm not going to give him a treat that time because I really didn't like him laying down right there on the sit. Let's go. Good boy. Come on. Come on. Let's go. There you go. Next thing is the load up command. I personally don't like dogs on the furniture, but if you want your dog on the furniture, he shouldn't be allowed to just get up in it. It should be a command to get on the furniture. I'll typically tell him to hup or load up, whatever the case may be. It can be any word you want it to be. Hup. Atta boy, tight fit, but he made it. Good. Let's go. So you see how he's ready to get on the bed? Can't tell me he's tired. We just had breakfast a little while ago. Maybe working a little bit on a full stomach right now. But it's real important. Whenever he does something right, we have to praise him. When he does something wrong, like he has done on this video, twice I've asked him to sit. He's got distractions everywhere. There's more than a couple of cats and distractions around. He has to listen, okay? But when he does do something wrong, we're going to keep revisiting that over the next 5, 10, 15 minutes till he gets it right. Sit. So what am I doing here? Twice now he's laid down. You remember I already said we're not going to keep him in a sit for a long time, but he wasn't in a sit that long for him to start to lay down. So, no. Sit. Good boy. Good. but I'm going to work him through it. And typically what I'll do is when I have a dog do something like that, I'll repeat it a couple of times. Break. Sit. Good. Now when I do the sit, he can go to any command. Let's go, come, place, heel, what have you. Come. Very slow, so I'm not going to give him a treat for that. I will pet him, good boy, but he's not going to get the treat. Right. So now when he's out running loose on a property somewhere, and he's out and he sees cats, squirrels, what have you, and we want him to come to us, do you think it would be wise to tell him to come? No, not if we're not sure he's going to come, because as soon as we tell him to come and he doesn't come, he's learned to avoid that command, okay? So what we would do is get his attention. I don't know that I can demonstrate it here, but I'll see. Spartan, hey, he's committed to coming. Come. That's with the leash on, but we would, attaboy. That's a good boy. Break. That would be the same thing we would do off leash. Notice how I got his attention. Let him know if we do that enough when he's off leash, he's going to know something good is coming, a treat, and then he's going to commit to coming to us. I'm going to give him a chance to see if he starts checking the cats out or the leaves or what have you. Spartan, hey, come. Again, good boy. If you rewind this video, you'll see the timing of my come was when he had committed to coming to me. Break. Another thing is when I had the treat, that's why I do come like this with the hand signal. When I have the treat in my hand, I'm holding it here. I'm not holding it here or here. I want him coming directly to me, okay? And I don't give him the treat until he sits in front of me. Especially on leash he has to sit. Off leash, I'm going to leave that up to you, but for the most part I ask my dogs when I'm asking them to come to sit with me. Now sometimes I'll yell at my dogs from a long ways away and I'll just call them. I typically make up something, I'll go chop chop and I'll clap my hands and then they come up to me and as they get to me I'll say let's go. And we're walking and they're doing what I asked them to do, okay? One more visit, sit. Good boy. And I'm going to watch again. One thing to understand, people out there watching the video, I believe we do one run through this. If we have a problem, if something happens, I want you to see how I handle it. You know, I'm not going to try to do a video that's perfect. He's had a couple of little mishaps that's been on the down with the sit. Now I have done this 3 times in a row. Attaboy, break. And he's held it, okay? Very important to realize, again, when he does mess up, we try to take a few minutes and keep coming back to it so that he understands what's the right thing we want, okay? He's a fantastic dog. He's a very smart dog. He can do just about anything we ask of him. I have no doubt he's not going to be a great dog as he grows up. We have to stay on top because he is one of these strong-hearted dogs, dogs of character. Any of these protection breeds I feel like are that way. You have to let them know you're in control, but you don't have to do it with a big stick. It's just being very consistent, using the proper motivation. Motivation in this case is the praise and consequence. Words and touch with an occasional reward along with it. My name is Jim Hodges. You can find me at jimhodgesdogtraining.com or on Facebook, Jim Hodges Dog Training. My number is 336-945-3232. As you're probably aware, any dog that I work with Residency, I'll do unlimited follow-ups on the things that we've taught for free. All I ask you to do is come to me. Thank you so much and take care. Good boy.